Hey, it's Jessica Kim from BabbaCo. Okay, so what is all this? We are making baby food today. So my really good friend Glo has her 7-month-old baby and she's over today. Just like many of us, she says, I really want to make baby food, but I'm so overwhelmed with how to do it. What do I need? How do I go about doing it? So I actually made all of Kayla's baby food and you will be so surprised at how simple it is to make it. So I'm just going to show you really basic techniques today. We're going to make very common first baby food. It's really healthy for a baby. It's butternut squash and acorn squash, which can be overwhelming in itself because how do you cut it, how do you peel it? We'll go over all of that. But this is all you need, okay? So all you need is really a steamer, and you could do this with a steamer on your stove and just have the basket steamers or however. However, I really recommend an electric steamer because it just times it for you, makes it so much simpler. And then the next step is that all you need is a food processor or a grinder or a food mill, anything like that. But again, I go for ease. I got this for my wedding present. I never used it except for baby food, so here we go. It's a food processor. You know, of course, a cutting board and a nice knife. And then you'll need, you know, I'm all about efficiency as a mom because we don't have time. So I make it in huge batches and then I freeze it, and you will be surprised. I will make you taste butternut squash that is like 3 months old and it tastes super fresh. So you get these ice cube trays, and these are actually made by BabbaCo. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like this product, and it has a great lid on it, so it keeps all the smells or anything out, and it keeps it really sanitary and fresh. So I like these, but I've tested all of these different types of ice trays. So anything with a lid, I would say, is the way to go. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step with squash is to wash it thoroughly, and the big question is, how do you get the skin off? And that could be a really hard thing to do, but it's so simple because in the steaming process, the skin actually just kind of melts off. Not melts off, but it just kind of separates from the flesh. So it's really simple to do after that. So this step right now is just simply, let's get it cut. So when you cut, the squash can be very hard, so be careful. Keep your fingers away from it. Get a very sharp knife, and when you have enough clearance, you just kind of go in, go down, and again, it's hard. I cut off the ends first. Discard those. You know, with the butternut squash, they tend to be long and oblong, so you just cut down in the middle, and then you just cut it in fours. And again, I hope you have basic knife skills. Always put the flat side on the bottom so you have a sturdy surface to work off of, and keep all fingers away from the blade. So you just cut it like this. It's that simple. I am telling you, you guys are gonna love this. And so with this, as you see, we have this little surprise of all the seeds, and you literally just get a spoon and you just scoop them out. So you just scoop this out and you just discard that. Okay, so you move forward and you do this for all 4, and they're ready to go into the steamer. Okay, so now you just simply put it in your steamer, and every electric steamer is a little bit different, but the basic concept is you have the water in here, you have the hot plate, and then you have these little baskets, and this is a double steamer. So again, get any one that you have, and you basically just put it in. I try to do it flush down, and however you can get it fitted. And so the most important thing is that you just have a good closure. So if it can all fit while you still can put the top on tightly, then you're good to go. So here we go. There you go. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes, and so let's check it. And the great thing about having an electric steamer, again, I'm a huge fan of this, is that you don't have to keep an eye on it. It's really safe. It's going to ding when it's ready. So in those 25 minutes, I literally gave my daughter a bath. So you can totally multitask with this thing. Okay, so you check it by just poking at it, and the fork should go really easily into the flesh. Okay? And then, so it's going to be really hot, so be careful. And then what we're going to do is, now we're going to start peeling off the skin. Okay, so it's kind of hot, and if you have time to let it cool, I would definitely let it cool, but I usually don't have the time. So you basically see how easy it is to just flake it off. So it's not going to like easily peel off. You just take a butter knife, so literally it's so easy. You just kind of go along like this. So simple. So this is the butternut squash. So you'll see it still has like some hard texture. So simple, look at that. You just run it along. So easy. You don't have to work at it. This is a butter knife, nothing sharp. And you literally just run it along like this, and you'll end up, you know, with just the flesh. And as soon as you're done with one, then you just throw it, and I don't know if the camera can follow me here. You just throw it in a food processor. Okay, so we peeled all this skin off. It took us maybe, what, Glow? Maybe like 5 minutes or so less. Yep. And then you just put it in, ooh, sorry, your food processor, and you just let it whirl away. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Okay, so it's literally been kind of blending for just a couple of minutes. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is baby food. So much fresher and nutritional and just delicious. Let's just have a baby spoon here. This is for little baby Calissa, but let's give it a try. It's so good. Like, I would literally eat this or serve this to my family. Seriously, I wish I could put this through the camera because you won't believe it. It is so delicious. And when you taste the baby food in the jars, not to knock it, okay? Because I've used those too, but you just can taste, it's just so fresh. It's so delicious. So let's see what Calissa thinks. Hey, hi, Calissa. Calissa, you gonna taste homemade baby food for the first time? Okay, here's Mommy Glow. She's gonna feed you. Yummy. She likes it. She likes it. Okay, so now we know that Calissa loves it. She's such a cutie patootie. So let's actually save it for her and freeze it so she can have it for the long time. So I'll show you how to do that. So if you have a cookie scoop laying around just from your baking days, I would totally use that. It's really easy. You don't need it, but I'll show you why. So you just take this, you get your ice tray like I talked about, and just drop it in. Like literally, it's that easy. Drop it in. Drop it in. And then obviously you want to maximize your space, so you can do like maybe 2 scoops in here. Kind of get it in there. So you just fill it up. If you don't have a cookie scoop, you could definitely just use a traditional spoon here. You just drop it in like this. It's just a little more jiggling. But it's that easy. And so you could freeze all of this. Of course, you can take and set some aside and put it in the fridge if you want to feed your baby within those first couple of days. So it's as simple as that. Okay, so it's the next morning. I usually freeze it overnight because that's the easiest, but it usually takes about 8 hours. So I take it out of the freezer, and if it gets really, really stuck, a lot of times I just run hot water through the back of the ice cube tray, so it kind of loosens things up. And so then you get a Ziploc bag or a freezer bag that's sturdy enough, and then you write on it what the food is. So I put butternut squash, I put the date. I wrote a little message there for Calissa because I love her so much. But yeah, so you just take the top off. Let's see how I can best show you this. And it's as simple as this. It just kind of comes right out like that. Did you see that? So, oop, one got stuck. There you go. And that's it. So there you have it. It's your frozen food. I'm sure you see the frozen food, like the homemade frozen food versions that you can buy in the grocery store, which are pretty expensive. So you can just make it home by yourself. And you know, I know a lot of questions might be coming up, like how can I make broccoli, or what can I introduce when? And you know, there are a couple resources out there that you can check out. And the book that I used was called Super Baby Food. It's this purple book. And I just kind of use that as my guide. But then there's also this great local nutritionist named Bonnie Minsky, and I think she has nutritionalconcepts.com, and she just covers all ages, but she also has a guide for infants. So I use that as well. And you just ask other moms, and hey, I'm here for you. So you can email me. And again, I'm not like a complete expert, but I've been doing this and all my, for all of my kids. So you can email me. Facebook fan page me. I hear my baby calling me, so maybe we'll do a Ustream on this later so we can ask live questions and we can make another vegetable. Let me know what you think about that idea. But thanks so much, and I hope this helps. Okay, I'm signing out. I gotta go get my baby.